These are the views from the tallest building in London, England.
The Shard, that pointy building that is visible from all around in London, it sticks out. And here we see the full beautiful views. There's not that much if you go full 360 because this way you start seeing kind of the less dense areas of London, less skyscrapers this way. We see here the London Bridge, which is very plain, but it's definitely very historically important because the very first link across the Thames was the London Bridge, built by the ancient Romans nearly 2,000 years ago. We have the train system. I love how the train system is so well integrated into the city. You know, in New York, you usually have everything underground, but here you have things above ground, underground, all around. So here we have the beautiful bar area. Everything is well lit right now because they're about to close. Usually it's a lot darker, more moodier lighting. Right there we have Tower Bridge, which people usually call London Bridge if they're not from London. But it's actually the Tower Bridge and is the most ornate and famous part of the London skyline or the London views. Everyone knows it all around the world, such as the great films of Paddington 1 and 2, one of the best films ever made. We have the Walkie-Talkie Building, which is the building that nearly melted down an entire Jaguar because of its convex nature, created a laser beam that went down on a very hot sunny day and just completely obliterated a car parked on the curb across the street. HMS Belfast down there, very important warship that served during World War II, involved with Winston Churchill. We have here the Thames Link and a few other railroad networks, all integrating right under the Shard or just slightly around the Shard. Is so impressive. And the other skyline, which is the Isle of Dogs, not to be confused with the Wes Anderson film Isle of Dogs. That used to be docks that were actually made, man-made, to be private docks because there was so much thievery on the Thames. There was so much robbery. The Thames were super heavily trafficked back in the 1800s. There were river pirates that the government had to do something, so they made private, closed, heavily secured docks that were man-made down there. And those docks were refilled in and made into the new kind of city area. It's kind of the Hudson Yards of London, if you were to find the New York City equivalent. And the views of many other parts of London has a very similar look, at least this side, to Brooklyn, in my opinion. Lots of high rises, but they don't go really too much above 10 stories. In New York, you can easily kind of spot a lot more landmarks, especially at night, because here I would recommend coming here during the daytime. Do not choose the last time slot. It might not be a good idea because it's now closing. I chose the time slot at 6 p.m. and only had a 1 hour. Unlike in New York, if you choose the last time slot, you usually have 2 to 3 hours, but yeah, kind of sucks. So do watch out. Don't choose the last time slot. Go a little bit ahead. Go during the daytime, especially here in London, because unlike New York, you'll see more specific things during the daytime. All right, let's go downstairs, shall we? Comfy little seats right over there. All right, let me show you the exit. Let's go in front of the Shard. Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much. So here's the gift shop. All right, now let's go outside and let's see the views of the Shard from the outside. Wow, that elevator goes down really quick and pops your ears quite a lot. So the Shard is literally integrated into the London Bridge station right over here. So here we have the railroad station and also the underground. And right over here we have the Shard. So there is no show on the elevator. And that's why the Shard is not quite like Empire State Building or a One World Trade Center in New York. Doesn't quite compare in that respect. But it is in London, some of the best views you'll see, and it has connections to buses and also to the railroad and to the London Underground, very easy to get to. And nearby is also the Borough Market. So there's a lot of cool things here to do. I hope you enjoyed these nighttime views. Thank you so much for tuning in. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a great day, everyone. Oh. Cheerio.